How Your Mind Can Keep You Well by Roy Masters. I'm going to read this to you now. The preparation. You're about to take a journey. It will be the most wonderful experience of your life. The secret is not apparent to the casual reader. It reveals itself only to the person who is willing to follow the step-by-step instruction and to follow through with the mental exercise by himself in the days that follow. Do not expect a miracle instantly. Results may appear quite soon, but because of individual differences, it may be a few days, a few weeks, and sometimes much longer. Be sure that you do not do this exercise for the purpose of feeling better or to get something out of it. That attitude destroys the effectiveness of the meditation and gives it a selfish twist. Do it to discover your true self rather than to feel better. Expecting some special effect ruins the spirit of discovery and can create illusion and frustration. For the time being, put aside your fears, anxieties, guilt, and worries, and give all your attention to understanding my instructions to you. Repeat the meditation exercise by yourself many times a day, at least 3 if possible, especially first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Careful. Do not try to analyze why it works. There is a vast difference between concern and worry, analysis and understanding. If you listen very carefully and you do as you're told, you will experience periods of well-being and then periods of doubt. Thoughts such as, will it last? Or, am I kidding myself? Take advantage of your increased awareness to observe this out of your thinking. Be attentive in this special way, and you will come to understand many things effortlessly. Analysis always substitutes for understanding and leads to worry and doubt in turn will lead to confusion, emotion, depression, and despair. Although you cannot make yourself believe, you can observe the demon of doubt out of existence. You will see what I mean by this as you meditate. Do not wait until you feel like doing your exercise. Do it religiously. The object of the exercise, you see, is to lead the way you feel. Your feelings have subtle ways of talking to us and blocking us from doing what is wise. Therefore, if there is only one thing you must make yourself do, let it be to meditate. Once you have gotten past the mysterious reluctance and the resistance, you will be glad you did. Be careful the exercise does not become a mechanical thing. Do it each time as if it were the first time, so that it remains an observation exercise. There may be an uplifting, perhaps a distant feeling lasting several days. As you become accustomed to this, you may start to worry. Is it wearing off? Am I getting anything out of my exercise? Am I doing it right? The distant feeling is the awareness you have been seeking all of your life. Most of us are accustomed to thinking from our feelings and being lost in them. We're used to living in a daydream state of escape. Continue with your exercise regardless of what happens. If you encounter an odd experience, don't worry. Wonder, watch, observe, question, wait, and you'll be safe. For goodness sakes, don't decide whether it is a good experience or a bad one. It's perfectly all right if you admit that you don't know and begin to wonder. That's how you will come to understand. Never add any technique to what you have been taught. The meditation exercise is what the name implies. The exercise will make the subconscious subject to the conscious understanding. Although the instructions seem to contain many suggestions, close examination will reveal but one principle. Never, through lack of understanding, misuse the power you develop, giving suggestions to yourself such as I will be brave, I will lose weight. Don't roll up your sleeves to deal with a problem as you begin to understand what they are. Wait, be patient. There is a time and place for everything that is to be said or done. The most important thing for you to experience is repentance, which is the sad gladness that is known when you see yourself in the light and you see your ego as part of the problem. The meditation exercise contains all the ingredients for perfect self-control, the values accumulated only when practiced daily. If you want to break a habit or solve a problem at this moment, stop trying. You know it is very important to you, but it is now you not succeed your way. With all that effort, put the same attention into your meditation exercise, and you will find that problems will resolve themselves. In a very short while, habits will give you up, beginning with the last to appear. There will come a time when serious guilt problems lose their place of importance. This may be quite puzzling, but remember what I said. Do not analyze it. Just be grateful that it is so. Be patient. In time, you will understand what is happening. These words are to be your guide for a little while. Go through the basic exercise without help whenever you can. It is essential that sooner or later you learn to do it by yourself without any help from this recording or text. The day you stop meditating will be the day you begin to fall back, and it may be impossible to begin again, ever. Examine the following text and thoroughly familiarize yourself with the simple requirements of the meditation exercise technique. When you have grasped the basic concept, which is to learn how to become objective to your own thought stream and not fall into your thoughts, it's time to put it into practice. You should not encounter any difficulty, but if you run into emotional blocks toward the printed word, you should obtain the instruction as it first appeared, as a sound recording of the author's voice. You will notice that the exercise is learning objectivity phases into a discussion of basic principles. In the original classic sound recording from which this text is taken, this format was used because once the conscious mind is separated from the confusion, the education, and the prejudice of the lower subconscious self, it becomes capable of deeper understanding and following sound principles as never before. To be patient and calm is good advice that few can follow, except perhaps artificially by taking pills. Only in the true objective state can the conscious mind inherit faith and, through faith, patience, and fully appreciate and marvel at how far the principles of patience can go. Now that the meditation is in printed form, the exercise has been separated from the principles explained by the narrator. You will note the point of separation following the end of the exercise. The author wishes to emphasize that the spoken word is far easier to follow than the written word, and he again suggests that you write for his meditation recording if you have any difficulty. The procedure is modified as follows. First, accomplish the objective of the meditation exercise, and when you have reached this objective state, which feels mildly distant, then read the principles that protect the meditative state. This simple exercise leads your consciousness up through layers of conscious thinking, while the spoken part of the dialogue shows you how to preserve this state and helps awaken you progressively to even higher realms of understanding. The meditation exercise. sitting in a straight back chair or laying down. Close your eyes. Choose either hand and let it hang loosely by your side. Be careful not to go to sleep and to do the exercise for relaxation. This procedure is only to prevent an accumulation of tensions by correctly meeting life's experiences, not to dull the effects that will follow your failure to do so. Bring your attention to your right hand hanging by your side. Simply notice it. I want you to feel the blood flowing down into it. It will tingle. Now just do that. Just be aware of your hand hanging by your side. There's no need for any effort. Again, simply notice your hand hanging by your side until you find yourself not noticing it through being caught up in a daydream. When that happens, simply bring your attention back to your hand again and again. If you will do this, you will begin to feel the blood flowing down into your fingertips. You are now learning how to concentrate on your hand. I want you to be very, very conscious of your hand. Mentally shift your attention from one finger to the other. Shift your attention to the first finger, the second finger, the third, and fourth, coming back to the first again. Just be very, very aware of each finger and turn until it begins to feel as though the blood was flowing down into it. Now, while you are being very, very aware of your hand, at the same time, and you find you can do it, become very aware of the middle of your forehead. Now, as though you were looking through the middle of your forehead, funnel your attention down your arm into your hand. When you notice your mind wandering off, simply notice your hand again. Feel the awareness of your hand. Feel the hand tingling as though the blood were flowing down into it. And see if you can see the outline of your hand in your mind's eye, as though you were peeking out of your mind's eye through the middle of your forehead. Be aware of your hand as though you were seeing it with your mind's eye through the middle of your forehead. Keep doing this. Don't stop. Be very, very aware of your hand. Be very conscious of it. Feel the presence of it. Feel the blood flowing down into it. And then out of this mild, tingling, warm feeling, let the hand become a vague outline in your mind's eye. It is as though you can almost see or sense where your hand is without imagery. Now, watch the thought that tries to pull you away from being aware of your hand. If your thoughts pull your attention away from the present moment, bring your attention back to your hand, and then again feel the awareness of it. Feel the presence of it, and then see the back of your hand, so that the back of your hand is seen through your mind's eye. Be very conscious of your own mind, as though you were sitting in a back cave. Then feel the awareness of your hand and see the outline of your hand. I only want you to keep your mind in the now, to keep it from wandering into thought and dream stuff. If your thoughts pull your awareness away from the tingling of your hand in this present moment, simply feel the awareness of your hand again, and then see your hand from your mind's eye. Keep doing this. Don't stop. Again, so as to keep your awareness in the moment, judge the distance between your hand and your forehead. See if you can estimate the distance. Don't hurry. Be patient. Just be conscious of the tingling hand. Feel the awareness of it. See the outline of it through your mind's eye. Keep doing it I do not mean for you to look up and strain your eyes. If your thoughts wander off, bring your mind back to the now awareness of your hand. Feel the blood flowing down into it. Feel the presence of it, and then see the outline of your hand. But don't look upward and strain your eyes. Simply make the awareness of the middle of your forehead, of your mind's eye. Just observe as though you were looking through the middle of your forehead and places where thoughts arise. And then see if you can locate your hand to see if you can imagine the distance between it. Do not hurry. It is really not important if your hand rises. The object of the exercise is to create in you a response to your inner self, to remain in the present, in the presence. If your arm becomes light and buoyant, just let your hand go up by itself towards your forehead. If your mind wanders off, bring your attention back to your hand. Feel the awareness of it again. Feel the tingling sensation if the blood was flowing down into your fingers. See the outline of your hand coming up toward the middle of your forehead, as though you were looking through your mind's eye. Do not strain your eyes. Just be very, very aware of your hand, as though you could see it through the awareness of the middle of your forehead. So your hand and head touch and feel as one. You find now that you can dissolve unnecessary, unwanted thoughts simply by becoming very aware of the present moment. Just be aware of your hand. Feel it coming up towards you so that the back of your hand touches your forehead. Judge the distance in your estimation. See if you can judge the distance between the back of your hand and the middle of your forehead. Draw the hand closer to the head. Soon you will feel that the back of your hand is closer to the forehead than it really is. You may think to yourself, if I move it just a little closer, the back of my hand will touch the middle of my forehead. But it doesn't. It may even feel as though your hand has passed through your head rather than to your head. But when it does move a little closer, it doesn't seem to touch your forehead. It seems as though your hand is closer than it really is. This is just an effect created by the way you're concentrating. Now, still keep being aware of the hand. Be very, very conscious of it. Feel as if the blood were flowing into it. It will tingle. It may begin to feel warm or detached, but just keep being aware of your hand and remain aware of it through the middle of your forehead. When the back of your hand touches the middle of your forehead, drop your hand to your lap. When you have done this with one hand, do it with the other. Now, while you're listening or reading these principles, keep noticing the place in the middle of your forehead and your hand as if they were in one place, joined together. And just be very conscious of your hand by your side. Each time you do this exercise, you're creating an increased ability to observe and thereby control your thoughts from within yourself, not because I say so, but because the exercise makes it so. Each time you do this exercise, you will create a greater awareness of the present, and the unpleasant events of the past become less and less important, dissolved in the light of reality, not because I say so, but because the exercise makes it so. You should not dwell morbidly on the past and worry about the future. Wait till the reason for your problem surfaces, and when it does, notice any resentment against being shown. Your exercise will help you to keep your awareness in the present, not because I say so, but because the exercise makes it so. This exercise will clear your mind and cause you to realize simple principles that will be revealed to you in the place in your mind where resentment, judgment, and worries arise. Be aware of your silly ego needs, and then realize that no one can fulfill them. Be aware of the folly of looking outside to others for fulfillment. Look at your impatience, and in realizing your need for patience, patience will come. See what causes frustration and impatience. Surely it is some form of ambition for yourself or for someone. Realize the folly of that ambition. Now, having more compassion, you need not let things upset or frustrate you, not to the slightest degree, especially those things that are unkind, unfair, and dishonest things that people say and do to you to motivate and downgrade your ego to raise theirs. You really ought not to be annoyed inwardly or outwardly. I did not say you must suppress your anger. I want you to observe your impatience, which you used as a means of getting ego drive energy, and for judging others. See the need to overlook and make allowances right at that moment, not because you have to, but because you want to. Don't be afraid to speak up patiently. And don't be surprised to see a lot of past suppressed resentment bubbling to the surface for a release after that. You will soon realize it is your own resentment that hurts you more than the unthinking cruelties of other people. Therefore, I want you to now, from now on, to watch out for the opportunity to overlook and be outspoken right on the spot, not 2 seconds later, but immediately when it happens, so that you will respond more to what you know and come to know is right, and less to conditions and people. Learn to make allowances for everyone from now on, no matter who it is, especially those who are close to you, because you cannot control your faults. Those you can see and those you cannot. It is not wise to be resentful toward the faults of others, especially your family, the ones to come to make allowance for first are the ones close to you. If you cannot do it for them, how can you expect to do it for strangers? On the other hand, if you are patient with them, it will be easier to cope with the pressures of the world. True love does not expect anything from anyone. It is what you expect, ambition, and an ulterior motive, and do not receive that makes you frustrated and resentful. It does not matter what others have or do. When you do something for someone, do it because you see it as wise, not because you feel you have to. You must no longer have imaginary conversations with people as to what you're going to say to so-and-so the next time you see him. Have faith. Be spontaneous. Never mind what you should have done or could have said. What has been cannot be changed, no matter how much you wish it. You can change from now on through having patience rather than resentment. If you have felt disturbed about some worry or mistake in the past, remember that the people you wronged, if they were good, would have forgiven you without you asking. And if they are not good, just start making allowances from now on anyway. For it is written, forgive us as we are forgiven. This implies that each time we are patient with another, we obtain the forgiveness and salvation of God, and we undo some of our former sin. The coward is a coward from the time he should have been brave until the next time. If he again fails to be brave, he is a greater coward with more remorse than before. But if he chooses to be courageous, he will no longer be a coward. If the world should suddenly become perfect, the coward would never have the chance to redeem himself. So it is with you. You have allowed yourself to become judgmental and resentful over many trivial things in your life. And when you could have overlooked or made allowances, you judged. Therefore, be glad when people are rude or unkind, for here's your opportunity to be patient, and so through patience give up judgment. If there was no danger, you could not possess courage. If there was no hate or temptation, how could you develop love and virtue? Cruel and unthinking people are giving you the opportunity to accomplish more now what you failed to do before. The situation that once made you upset, guilty, and afraid will become the very thing to give you happiness and well-being from now on. Therefore, whosoever shall try to anger you or upset you is actually giving you the opportunity to rise above your problems. They do not know this, but they are doing you a great service. And the harder people try to upset you, the calmer you will become, the brighter you will shine. So remember to overlook right on the spot and be patient, plain spoken, with firmness, kindness from now on. Whosoever tries to annoy you intentionally or otherwise is trying to hurt and even control you with your own resentment, simply observe him. Respond only with patience and whatever thought or deed that comes forth out of the center of calmness. Take resentment out of everything that you discern rather than judge. Let this run through your thoughts often. Have the awareness of it in your mind at all times. Take resentment out of everything so that you discern rather than judge. Keep this as a spiritual and moral goal. Let it be more important than any material goal in this world, for it is the means by which everything can be accomplished. Let the whole procedure of meditation give you a satisfaction and a joy of doing that will far exceed the pleasure from material things. It should be a joy to think about it, to understand it, and do it again and again, so that the light will modify everything that passes through your mind from the world. You should make decisions according to it. Everything you feel, do, or say should conform to it. That is, to be patient, overlook on the spot, and be outspoken with firmness, kindness, and patience. Meditate because you see it as right to do, not because you have to. Do it because you yearn for understanding. Do it for the sake of finding and being committed to what is true and good. Do it for the pure love of seeing truth prevail. To be a better person, regardless of profit or loss, or whether or not it makes you feel good. If you want to do a real goal to think about, let it be, if I could just be unmoving in my patience and discern people as they are without judging them for what they do or imply, I would be better off. This is the truth. No other goal will give you satisfaction, so there is no point in thinking about it. Everything I say merely points to the simple instructions to overlook on the spot and be plain spoken with firmness, kindness, and patience. Part of my conversation is to help you understand. The other is directing you to your center of dignity, to the objective state where light, patience, and true love are. Do your exercise and it will bring you to the inner life. Now, if you have something to say, say it. If you have something to do, do it. Don't be upset, say it. Don't be upset, do it. As long as you are calm and patient and not upset, you cannot possibly hurt anyone with your words or deeds, and you have the right to speak up. You cannot please everyone anyway, so stop trying. You're responsible only for expressing the truth for each moment. If others become upset over your honesty, then they will see their own faults in the light of your patient nature. The first thing, then, is to overlook, stand firm, don't react, be patient under trial. As long as you're not resentful and judgmental, you will always be able to disagree without being disagreeable. If people are upset because you are honesty, they are not your friends anyway, and you might as well know it now. Your real friends will come to respect and love you for your honesty and truthfulness. No need now to plan your conversation ahead of time, such as, if he says this to me, I will say that to him. Keep the faith, whatever it is, overlook it, be patient, plain spoken, with firmness, kindness. Wait for the moment and discover what to say and do, if anything. Make sure you overlook the things that should be overlooked and are plain spoken about things that should be said. Don't close your minds to evil. See it and don't resent it. Be sure you do not change your words to soften the outcome, keeping things to yourself that should be said or done before they fester into resentment or guilt. Whatever personal problems you have, there is no need to analyze it any longer. You will see the solution in its own time. By digging around in your past and peering into the future, you confuse yourself more. Keep meditating so as to become objective, and then as you become to the light, you will perceive the cause of all your troubles. You should not analyze what I say. Instead, think about it until you understand it deeply. Just keep relating to and remembering the basic premise, which is to be patient with injustice, to be plain-spoken where it's wise to speak up. It does not matter if people love you. You love them. It does not matter if people understand you. You understand them. And if they do not forgive you, you forget them. Do not say, stupid idiot, when you see someone who is acting foolish. Let your attitude say, here, let me help you. Observe their faults. Do not be emotional, puffed up, and resent them for this. Make allowances right on the spot. Do not take personal offense at anything. Let criticism roll off you like water off a duck's back. Be not excited by praise or offended by criticism. Don't be too eager to give praise or criticism. Now, to sum up, you must meditate because you want to, not because you have to. Remember to overlook on the spot and to be outspoken with firmness, kindness, and patience from now on, keeping this principle uppermost in your thoughts in the ever-present. Do not worry or dwell on the past or the future. Let past memories rise to the surface and face what you must in the light without resenting what you see or struggling to change it. Do your exercise, and the exercise will provide the energy to keep understanding alive in you, which basically is to be patient and to be plain spoken. Each time you are patient and do not respond to torment and temptation, there will be a sense of achievement. You will see things in a different light, and what you will come to understand will increase the meaning of the basic truth, which is to overlook on the spot. Then, each time you do your exercise, you will automatically carry down into your understanding into your daily lives so that you will do it with increasing skill the next time, which is, in turn, will bring more understanding to you. Thus, the more you understand, the more you feel inclined to do what you understand, and the less you will respond to outer conditions, temptation, and what people say or do. Nothing must be added to this concept while you do this exercise, nor anything taken away from it. Merely be reminded to overlook on the spot and to be outspoken with firmness, kindness, and patience. I did not say you should not think of anything else as you go through your daily chores and come into contact with people. No matter what you do, no matter what you feel and think, do everything in accord with the principles of overlooking on the spot and be outspoken with firmness, kindness, and patience. You should make allowances for people with all your thinking, all your feeling, and all your understanding because you want to, not because you have to. Remember, do not analyze. Ponder on it within yourself. Do not worry. Cast out doubt. Bring your mind back again and again to the objective state of being in the now, present, and observe doubt flee from you. Don't discuss this with anyone. There are no words. Just think it and feel it secretly and do it. Now begin slowly to open your eyes. You may feel a little tired and heavy. Give yourself a good long stretch. While you are doing this and opening your eyes, remember to do your exercise at least 3 times a day, as you have been instructed. This exercise is very important, along with the basic concept of patience.